into great detail about the fractured relationship between Robert Kraft, Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick. There is a lot here, guys. Kraft reportedly disparaged his coach and even called him an idiot savant, while Brady apparently thought Belichick's methods were, quote, antiquated, even silly. Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad does this make Belichick look?
A 1.
A 1?
A 1. Because, Skip, we've had 20 years to know who Coach Belichick is. This is not the Tiger Woods situation where the public persona was undermined by what was going on behind closed doors. We saw Coach Belichick cut Lawyer Malloy the Tuesday before opening season. We saw Coach Belichick cut a man, Taquan Underwood, the night before the Super Bowl when his family is in town and the guy had to watch the game from the stands. So we've got 20 years. Traded Richard Seymour. Look at all the guys, the great guys that have gone. And see, it wasn't until they wrote this book and how he was treating Tom Brady out of the door that people were like, oh, Coach Belichick was like that? He was on full display for 20 years for all to see. But when you're winning, everything, all the Patriots fans and everybody was saying, this is what it takes to win. Well, okay, he believed that by letting Tom Brady walk out the door, he believed that was going to help him win in the long run. What Coach Belichick will not allow is like friendship or friends to get in the way of making a decision. First of all, he treats all of his players as employees. There is no friendship. There is no relationship. I'm the boss. You're the employee. Do the job or else. That's how it is. And when you say, well, hold on, but Tom Brady should be treated differently. He says, no, he shouldn't. And I'm not going to treat him differently. Therefore, that's why, Skip, he was busy. Now, you know, Skip, somebody's giving you 20 years of service. Great service. Been a model citizen for your organization or for your company. You're going to have at least the common courtesy, the decency to meet the man face to face and say, thank you for the 20 years of service and dedication that you've given this organization, that you've given this company. You would at least give him that. But that's not how he is, because he says, you know what, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to say, well, you met with Tom. You couldn't have the courtesy to meet with me. And he's never going to allow someone to say, you treated him differently than him, and you treated him differently than him. He's not going to allow you to do that, Skip. So this book, although the excerpts that I've been able to pull from it has been entertaining and like, well, damn, Skip, I'm not surprised by anything, Skip, because that's who he is. Everybody thought he was a... Mr. Kraft also called him an a-hole. Everybody thinks he's like that. He's very condescending. I know more than all you guys in this room can. How dare you question me? Do you know my resume? I'm a 2-time defensive coordinator that won the Super Bowl. I won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. And you are beneath me and you question me in my decision making. So Skip, it didn't do anything for me. I love it. I love reading all the things. I mean, obviously, it provided details that we didn't previously know. But my perception of him, it has not changed. He's a horrible person, but he's a tremendous head coach. 2 things can be true.
Okay, let me paraphrase or rewrite this question for you. Over the last 20 years, from what you've known of Bill Belichick, scale of 1 to 10, how bad has he come across to you?
But Skip, he's always come across bad to me.
So he would be a 9 on that scale as a horrible person.
Yes,
maybe even a 10.
He's a 10. But here's the thing, Skip. He's been doing things. It wasn't until he did these things to him. Skip, I remember when this story came out, and I told you, I said, Skip, this is going to end badly. I said, it's going to end badly. And what Mr. Kraft did, Mr. Kraft saying all these things, but he saw something that happened years earlier. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. He says, I'm not going to blow this up. I'm not going to cut the golden goose head off. I'm going to let this goose keep laying eggs as long as it possibly can. But what he did in the process, he let the farmer end up killing the golden goose. He didn't do it.
Okay, but remember, Jerry versus Jimmy wasn't about Jerry having to decide between Jimmy and Troy Aikman, right?
No, it was about it wasn't about that, Skip, but it was about we had an opportunity to continue to build, and they let egos. Mr. Kraft wasn't going to let his ego, whatever he thought of it, he knew deep down. Mr. Kraft is a really good man. He's a devout man. Ask him what he really, really, truly thinks of Coach Belichick. And if you say this is the only way you're going to get to the pearly gates, I guarantee you it'll be a different perception and all that huggy stuff that they have on the platform getting that Lombardi.
Okay, I got it. My turn. So I will be the first to acknowledge I have not read the entire book.
Right.
But I have read dozens of excerpts,
Yes.
excerpted highlights, or maybe we should call them lowlights from the book.
Right.
Many of them shocking, though I would say not surprising, because to your point, we knew it was sort of heading in this direction. I just didn't know all the anecdotes that would drive it completely home, drive the final nails in the coffin that is the Patriots dynasty.
Correct.
So in the end, my final big picture takeaway is that Tom Brady in this book is coming across as the all-time hero, and Bill Belichick as a head coach in the National Football League is coming across in this book as the all-time villain / scoundrel.
That's what you called him,
Okay,
Skip. You've been calling him that.
I've always said he's got some scoundrel in him. So what do we know from this? Well, I've been saying these things to your point really since Spygate.
Yes.
That was 07. So that's a lot of years on TV that I've been saying,
Right.
I don't trust him. I disqualify him as the GOAT coach, because now we even get more anecdotes, one from Mike Martz about how angry he was because he believed heart and soul that Belichick commissioned having his walkthrough videotape the night before that first Super Bowl. And then the second Super Bowl, we got all of it from Carolina. That's not in the book. Marty Herney has said on public, he had a radio show where he talked about they were convinced that Belichick videotaped their walkthrough the evening before the Super Bowl. That was their second Super Bowl that they won against Carolina. Scoundrel. Then we had another anecdote in here in which your coach, Mike Shanahan, tried to defend him through the Spygate saga to Roger Goodell, saying, hey, everybody tries to do this. Bill's just the best at it.
Right.
And that's kind of damning with faint praise, if you will, because Mike probably has a little bit of scoundrel in him.
He does.
That he does.
He
You
does.
know him.
He does. I know it very well.
Okay, because that's, if it's the old, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know, everybody, it's the sport of baseball. It's the whole sport was built on how can you bend the rules? How can how can you do things to the baseball to make it spin? Okay, we get that. So now let's start with the flashpoint quote of all the anecdotes that we got. And it's Robert Kraft leaving his Aspen home to go to a Patriots game and telling a friend, according to the book, and again, it's not a quote from Robert Kraft. It is, as Belichick tried to dismiss the whole book as second, third, fourth hand quotes, but that Robert Kraft told a friend that I have to go deal with that, as you know, what did he call him? The biggest effing a-hole in my life.
Right.
In my life.
Right.
And he was dreading having to even have to be in the same space with Bill Belichick because he did not enjoy him as a head coach.
Because Skip, they're so different people. I don't know if anybody's ever been around Mr. Kraft, anybody's ever been around Coach Belichick, but they couldn't be more different as far as personality, as far as engagement.
Yep. Okay, and Kraft also reportedly called Bill before he hired him that he found him to be an idiot savant. Well, that's a contradictory term of he's an idiot, but he's a brilliant idiot. He's like gifted. He's got some
like
genius about it. He's Rain Man. And the point is that he's got rough edges. He is aloof. He's arrogant. He's difficult to deal with. He is immovable off his opinion. Once he gets dug in on something, you can't talk him out of it. We can't communicate. I don't like socializing with him. But, man, does he have some gift of especially teaching and coaching defense, right? Okay, so these are damaging quotes to reputation, right? So then we look at the bigger picture, and we see a Tom Brady as early as 2017, which we already knew from Seth Wickersham, saying, I just can't play for him anymore. I can't take it anymore. He did not evolve. That was the quote from, obviously, Guerrero last week. And the whole idea that he was antiquated, it was so antiquated that it became silly how Bill was stuck in the past. It was almost like he was a dinosaur that Brady allowed to continue to operate because he thought they could still win in spite of Bill Belichick. Right.
But Skip, now